Hi, and welcome to Self-Defense, The Tips, put together by USI and Christine Johnston. We're going to start talking about risk reduction strategies at home. Draw the drapes and pull the shades. This gives you some privacy, but also prevents people that are outside from seeing in. Also, make sure you park in areas that are well lit, and you keep your doors and your driveways well lit as well. Good outdoor lighting will deter crime. Keep your shrubs and bushes trimmed for consistent size and shape. This will help you identify any motion near the windows, and keep bushes at least 6 inches below window ledges. Keep your doors locked when you're home. Even if you're out only for a few minutes, lock them. Make sure your bedroom door is locked as well, and deadbolts are the best. If you have a peephole, use it. If you don't have one, see if you can get one installed. With your windows, keep them locked as well, even those that are on the second floor. If you have a spare key, give it to a family member or a trusted friend or neighbor. Don't leave them outside your apartment. It's dangerous. Most people know where to look. Under the doormat, and next to the potted plant. It's just not safe. When you move into a new apartment, make sure the locks have been changed between tenants, and because keys get duplicated and given out. If someone knocks on your door, make sure you know who it is on the other side before you open it. Look through a peephole, look at a window, verify who's at your door, even if it's police. If you don't have a peephole or a window to look out of, keep a lock on. Most doors have a chain lock, and use that so you're not opening the door the entire way before you know who's outside. Make your home look occupied when you leave town. Stack the mail, newspaper delivery service, have someone pick them up for you if you can't do that option, and have some light timers on so your light's going on and off periodically so it looks like someone's home. Get to know your neighbors, and if you can trust them, watch out for each other. When you're returning home anytime, be cautious. If anything doesn't look right or feel right, call the police or just leave the area. When you're in your vehicle, always give it a visual check. Again, if something doesn't look right, contact the police. Check the vehicle before getting in, and check the back seat and the foyer as well. Know how to operate your remote locking system as well. Once you're inside, lock the doors and keep your valuables out of sight. Turn on your car and leave. Don't sit in parking lots balancing your checkbook or rummaging through your purse or making phone calls. If you think you're being followed, don't go home. Make a series of extra turns, and if you still think you're being followed, drive to a police or fire station, and do not stop in isolated areas. If your car breaks down, stay in the vehicle. Turn on your flashers and call roadside assistance like AAA or the police. If it is safe for you to change a flat tire and you know how to do so, go ahead and do it. But do not accept help from anyone you do not know. Even if they want to help, just make sure they call assistance for you at the very most. You do not want to put yourself in a vulnerable position. Parking. Always park in a well-lit area, and make sure you're parked to close to entrances and exits, and you remember where you did park. When you walk to your car, don't walk close to vehicles, and if you're concerned, get a security escort. A lot of universities have escort services at night if you feel unsafe and you want someone to drive you to your dorm room, the library, or something like that. And also avoid listening to your music or talking on your phone because it makes you an easy distracted target. Have your keys ready when you're on your way to the car, and you can use them for defense when necessary, but also it allows for quicker access into your car once you arrive at your vehicle. And make sure your vehicle is serviced regularly, and keep at least a quarter of a tank of gas in your car at all times. And make sure when you drop off your car for service, give the shop only your car keys and don't leave anything else valuable in your vehicle. With public transportation, always be aware of who you're around and don't wait in any unlit areas or places that you're uncomfortable. With elevators, if you don't feel comfortable with people in there already, wait for the next one and don't get on. With buses, sit close to the driver if you can. On planes, make sure you keep your personal contact information to yourself, and don't leave your luggage sitting around anywhere. That goes not only for airports, but for bus stations and any place like that. And put your parents' address on your luggage if you can. With taxis, wait in a safe, lit place. And make sure you know the cab driver's name and number, and only use licensed cab companies. And don't share your cab with anyone you don't know. Because, let's be honest, no one needs to be part of a Taken movie because Liam Neeson cannot rescue everyone. When you are dating, make sure you get his phone number. Don't give him yours. And meet in a public location like a restaurant or a theater. That way he doesn't know where you live until you're comfortable. Also, it gives you access to your own transportation so you can leave if you start to feel uncomfortable. And consider going out with a group of friends the first time you meet someone. And always make sure someone knows where you are and where you're going and who you're going with, and check in with them throughout the evening, and make sure you let them know when you're home. When you're saying goodnight, do it at a car or a place that makes you feel comfortable, not at your door. This way you don't have any pressure to invite them in. Also, when you're online dating, make sure you're careful of what information you give out, even if it's on Facebook. Use a different email address, and don't use your home address or phone number, because people don't need to know that information online, because people who aren't your friends or aren't on websites can access that too. And use good judgment with any photos you choose to post online, because once they're online, they're there forever. They never really go away. When you're out and about exercising, do it with a partner. Make sure you stay on main roads and populated areas if you're doing it outside. And if you run with headphones, it can reduce your chance of hearing someone or something and makes you a vulnerable target. Always make sure someone knows where you are and when you're expected to get back. Choose your clothing wisely when you're going out. Wear non-restrictive clothes and athletic shoes if you can. And know what you can or cannot do, especially if you're wearing heels and dresses. Can you take your heels off quickly? Can you run in your dress? Can you hike it up? Because you need to be aware of what's going to restrict you. Also, make sure you're just in good physical condition. That way, if you have to run, you'll be able to. If you're going to parties and bars, go out with friends you trust. Watch out for each other, and don't let anyone go anywhere alone, even the bathroom. If you drink, be careful how much you drink, and make sure you're careful what you are drinking. Also, if you're going home, make sure you do it with a sober friend, and they're good for more than a ride. Make sure you have a plan. Where are you gonna meet up? If one of you gets lucky, what's gonna happen then? Don't let anyone go out by themselves with a person they just met. Keep an eye on strangers at work. Ask them who they are, who they're visiting. See if you can assist them. With your valuables, make sure that they're on you or locked at all times. And be discreet. No one needs to know about your social life at work unless they're your trusted coworkers. And make sure your workplace is secure by knowing how to use phones and lock the doors. Are the security guards? Do you know who they are? Do they know who you are? And do you know how to call for help? The continuum of survival is about 5 things. The first one is awareness. Be aware of what is going on around you. The second one is avoidance. Avoid vulnerable circumstances, including drugs, alcohol, unfamiliar groups of people, lack of transportation, and dark areas. If you are approached, keep a reasonable distance between yourself and anyone else. The third one is defensive resistance. Whatever strategy you apply, make sure you do it 100%, because this might be your one chance to escape. There's verbal, yelling things like no and get back. Make them statements, not questions. Your goal is to identify the possible crime to others and discourage the attacker. And don't scream. Yelling is more effective. If you use whistles, they may not be as effective because they are unreliable and the attacker may try to silence them. They're most effective when you're some distance away from your attacker. There's also running, which is a valid strategy only if you think you can do it. Are you physically able to do it in the location and the terrain and just your own physical condition? Keeping up with regular exercise is a great strategy for making this a viable option. The fourth is compliance. Sometimes there are just situations where compliance may be your best bet to survive. In this case, focus on details of the attacker and the surroundings so you can report them later. Also, consider complying while you use another strategy, like making yourself sick or some other turnoff that makes your attacker loosen his hold or let you get away. There's always physical defense, so you have to know techniques, and they have to be proportionate for your encountered aggression. There's techniques for non-vital areas and techniques for vital areas. Make sure you know them before you try to use them. Weapon defense? Well, if you have a weapon, then that works, or you find a solid object you can get your hands on. If you carry around pepper spray, make sure you know how to use it so you don't use it on yourself. And remember, the goal of using any weapon is to still get yourself away from the situation. In the event of an incident, it is really important to stay calm, even though it seems like the hardest thing to do. If you find yourself the victim of an attack or rape, be alert to any situation that you can use to your advantage to get away, and make a mental note of all the details you can to share with your law enforcement later. After the incident, make sure you notify and report it to law enforcement. If you're on campus, there's usually some sort of safety and security department you can use, or you can go to local police department or sheriff's office. Also, contact the dean of students. That way you can change your academic schedule or your on-campus housing arrangements if needed. Make sure you get medical and mental health care. Medical health care is needed right away to make sure there are no injuries that may not be visible, and also to receive treatment to prevent STDs or pregnancy. And mental health care is really important because you need to recover from the event. And a lot of cities have hotlines or places to visit so you can get over the incident. Here are some resources that you can go to if you have been attacked, or if you want to learn some self-defense, or you just need some more information on this topic. Thank you so much for listening to this video, and like and comment below.